Welcome to Gridiron Ring, a sports talk show covering football and professional wrestling. I'm your host, the Encyclopedia of Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. WWE TLC 2019 this upcoming Sunday, December the 15th, 2019 from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Should be an interesting pay-per-view to say the least, in my opinion, especially all the storylines coming out of the Survivor Series pay-per-view a few weeks back, and then TLC on Sunday, in fact, being the final pay-per-view of 2019 for the WWE moving into the new calendar year. Royal Rumble about a month and a half from now. A lot of time to fill in between on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, so it'll be interesting to see what in fact does happen on Sunday at TLC, and then what WWE and company does on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown moving forward for weeks to come until we hit the end of January for the Worlds Collide event, and then the Royal Rumble 2020 in Houston at Minute Maid Park. Also, once again, second year in a row in a baseball stadium. And then at that point, officially, we will be on the road to WrestleMania, one of the best times of the year in professional wrestling. This year, it'll kick off with Royal Rumble, of course, potential another Saudi Arabia pay-per-view in February, potential Fastlane, Elimination Chamber in March, and then WrestleMania weekend. Hall of Fame ceremony will, in fact, kick off Mania weekend this year in Tampa. This past Monday before Raw, we found out who the first two inductees will be in the 2020 WWE Hall of Fame, thanks to ESPN and People magazine. Got to give credit where credit is due. ESPN first reported the NWO, the New World Order, Hogan, Hall, Nash, and X-Pac, along with the Animal Batista, will be the first inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2020. So we'll have the Hall of Fame ceremony on Thursday night, Friday Night SmackDown on Friday, NXT TakeOver Tampa that Saturday, followed by WrestleMania 36 and the Raw after Mania. 7 matches on the card, though, for TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs this upcoming Sunday. This is, in fact, my 2019 WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs TLC predictions. So thank you for listening. Also, thank you for listening or even watching all year long to professional wrestling predictions or live streams, either right here on YouTube or over on Periscope. Be sure, if you haven't done so already, like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring and myself, your host, the Encyclopedia of Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96, on social media if you haven't done so already. The links, as always, are in the description below. So 7 matches on the card for TLC, however, only 6 of them are official at this time. Viking Raiders versus an unknown opponent in their Raw Tag Team Championship match on Sunday is the odd man out, the odd match out, I should say. So, Eric and Ivor, War Machine, the Viking Raiders, potentially versus the Street Profits, maybe. They did have a match this past week on Raw. Potential rematch on Sunday at TLC, I wouldn't mind that. Potential match with AOP, the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razar, as Seth frickin' Rollins aligned himself with AOP just recently. So it looks like Rollins' new Shield faction, in quotes, so to speak, will be running Raw against Kevin Owens in the weeks to come, it looks like. And I'm glad there is no Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens on Sunday. I'm glad there's no United States or Intercontinental Championship match at this point in time either. However, matches still could be added as usual for the pre-kickoff show on the WWE Network. I will have live reactions, play-by-play, of WWE TLC 2019 Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Some matches with some different stipulations as well, and to get more into those here in a second. But be sure to tune in live over on Periscope, Cool Hand Luke 96. Give it a follow if you haven't done so already. Live reactions, play-by-play WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs TLC 2019, along with NFL Sunday Night Football, Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers, Sunday, December the 15th, 2019, over on Periscope. Be sure to tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for those live reactions, play-by-play. But I'm glad there's no Rollins Owens. I'm glad there's no U.S. or Intercontinental Championship match, as mentioned, because probably it's best storyline-wise moving forward for the WWE to save it, especially with all the time to fill in the next 6-7 weeks from now until the Royal Rumble, because this will be the final pay-per-view of 2019 and the final pay-per-view until the Royal Rumble. Now, yeah, we could have a network exclusive, a regular house show that they go all out with, like Starrcade, just recently, a week after Survivor Series, a few weeks back. There's been a lot of WWE wrestling exclusive, I guess you could say, on the network with Survivor Series weekend, and then the Starrcade event, now TLC. A lot of wrestling throughout the week as well, with Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, All Elite Wrestling, AEW Dynamite as well. Also on Wednesday nights on TNT. So 2019 has been a damn good year for pro wrestling, especially as a pro wrestling fan, because there's a lot of different options right now. And 5 years ago, it wasn't this good. And it's only going to be getting better, in my opinion. But everybody has their own opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. But, yes, as mentioned, 7 matches for TLC. And Rollins aligning himself with the AOP. AOP, Street Profits, yes, they're options for the Viking Raiders on Sunday. However, it's probably going to be some tag team that we're not even thinking about right now. Maybe a call from NXT, NXT UK for that matter as well. Potential return of a tag team maybe. I don't think they would want Miz pulling double duty if they would want John Morrison and the Miz to go up against the Viking Raiders. There's a couple different options, but we'll see what happens. As mentioned, it's going to be a mystery surprise come Sunday at TLC for the Viking Raiders and all us fans watching, but only one way to find out, and that is to watch the actual pay-per-view on Sunday. So we'll find out then, and I'll, as mentioned, have live reactions, play-by-play over on Periscope as well. Let me know in the comments below who you think the Viking Raiders mystery opponent will be on Sunday for the Raw Tag Team Championship match. I wouldn't mind Street Profits. I want it. What they did promo-wise, vignette with the Monday after weekend update, I believe it was called. That was gold, in my opinion. They're more of a comedic tag team anyway, so give them a rematch. Put them up against the Viking Raiders at TLC. However, don't let it be sort of a quick squash match as it was this past week on Raw. Yeah, I understood the timing issues this past week as well with Raw, but maybe if you put them in, give them their time. You want to have them win. Hopefully, you have them win at this point. But Viking Raiders AOP, I think, is going to be the future on Raw for the Raw Tag Team division. Maybe it's going to be the OC, the best tag team in the world right now. Gallows and Anderson. Styles not doing anything. Maybe he'll be out ringside, for that. Maybe help them win, and then Styles gets inserted into the WWE Championship picture with Brock Lesnar on Raw. However, it's probably going to be Seth Rollins up against Lesnar sooner rather than later. Potential Royal Rumble match, maybe. We'll see. And then AOP takes the Raw tag titles. There you have yourselves a faction. And that, in quotes, as mentioned, Rollins' new Shield faction, because Ambrose Moxley is not in WWE anymore. He's with AEW. And he'll be getting a match versus Chris Jericho, Le Champion, for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and then the big dog Roman Reigns over on SmackDown. So Interesting to see what happens on Sunday at TLC, to say the least, as mentioned. But only when we find out, and we got to watch it to find out what's going to happen moving forward. But probably going to be some tag team we're not even thinking of. Going back to this real quick, Viking Raiders retain. Viking Raiders AOP moving forward. They're your Raw tag champs. Rollins gets the title. They run Raw and see what happens at that point. It seems like Rollins, now the fans hate him once again. He's a heel. He's turned. It's best for business, though. Him up against Kevin Owens is awesome as well. So maybe a triple threat. Who knows? Triple threat could potentially happen moving forward on the SmackDown side of things as well, with Bray Wyatt, The Miz, and Daniel Bryan, depending on what happens in that match later on, and I'll get to that here in a second. But also at TLC, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, will go up against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, as they will defend their women's tag team championships in a tables, ladders, and chairs match, a TLC match at TLC on Sunday. And this is, in fact, the only women's match on the card until, more than likely, rather than not, we'll get one or two matches added to the pre-kickoff show as usual. And one of those two, I would assume, would be a women's match, just so that they're on the card. But the Kabuki Warriors, I think, will retain. Now, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, potentially at the Royal Rumble. That's an option. Becky Lynch returning Ronda Rousey, maybe her winning the Rumble. She gets revenge at Mania. Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler, potentially. Baszler versus Rhea Ripley this Wednesday on NXT, along with Adam Cole and Finn Balor, both with the NXT and NXT Women's Championships on the line respectively. So we'll see what happens there as well moving forward. And then we'll have Worlds Collide. We'll have NXT, NXT UK, 205 Live all together. And then the Rumble pay-per-view at the end of January, as mentioned, in Houston at Minute Maid Park. But Charlotte and Becky, if they win, I'd be surprised. Because the thing is, with the women's tag division, I mean, at the same time, though, I wouldn't be surprised because of that. Who is going to go up against the Kabuki Warriors, and who's going to go up against Becky Lynch and Charlotte? Now, they could drag this out, and they probably will. They'll have Becky and Charlotte win. Charlotte eventually turns after they lose. Down the road, Kabuki Warriors get the titles back at that point. You get your match, just so that you have the two teams battle it out for quite a while, and then you get Becky 2 belts back. Charlotte did tease it on Raw this past week, so we'll see what happens there. But, I mean, you have the Iconics. You have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross. However, the latter of those three are both on SmackDown. So, you know, unless you're going to, and they've said, you know, the title should be defended, or will be defended on all brands. However, they really haven't, except they were on NXT the 1 week, but that was just for ratings. You know, there's no one else. They're simply not. Like, they need to figure out what the hell they're going to do moving forward, because if not, what the hell are you doing? You might as well get rid of the titles at that point, but people would be in an uproar about that if they ever did that. So we'll see what happens, but the Kabuki Warriors are going to retain nonetheless. Another tag team championship match, this time on the SmackDown side of things. We'll have the New Day and the Revival in a ladders match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Revival stood tall on SmackDown even after their match. They got involved with the main event. They helped out King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. So you know what happens whenever you stand tall on a go-home for pay-per-view. You end up losing at that upcoming pay-per-view. So New Day will, in fact, I do believe, retain their SmackDown Tag Championships on Sunday at TLC in the ladders match versus the Revival, because the Revival stood tall on SmackDown. Someone else who stood tall recently on Raw was Rusev. Happy Rusev Day to everyone as well, which is unfortunate, to be honest with you. Rusev standing tall over Bobby Lashley, putting him through a table during the divorce contract signing, so to speak, with Rusev, and now storyline-wise WWE with Lana, Rusev, Lana, now divorced. However, they're still married in real life. Rusev put Lashley through a table. They have a tables match on Sunday at TLC, so because of that, Bobby Lashley is going to unfortunately end up winning on Sunday at tables, ladders, and chairs over Rusev, because Rusev stood tall. Now, I would be 100% for it to have Rusev win, as everyone would, I do believe, because this damn storyline, this feud with Rusev and Bobby Lashley, with Lana involved, has been god-awful. However, it's been funny at the same time, because Rusev is so over, once again, with Rusev Day, and I think that's the point, eventually, to just put Rusev over, and then have Lashley move on to do whatever the hell Bobby Lashley's going to end up doing. But, we'll see, obviously when that time comes. But anytime Rusev and Lana are in a storyline like this, go back to the Dolph Ziggler, the Enzo. There's been a few different times Rusev and Lana involved in a sexual storyline, and it just doesn't work out. I don't know why. I don't really care. Rusev is better than Dolph Ziggler. Rusev's better than Enzo Amore. Rusev's better than Bobby Lashley. And Rusev should win on Sunday. I can't remember if Rusev won ever in those former feuds against those opponents or not, nor do I really care about that either, because that's in the past. But Rusev should win on Sunday, however he's not, because of everything going on. But I think the ultimate goal in the long run is to have Rusev go over, but not on Sunday. They'll keep it going within the next few weeks, I would think, and then maybe Rusev wins the Royal Rumble, for God's sakes. Maybe he gets the United States Championship back, or maybe he gets the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe he becomes Raw Tag champs or SmackDown Tag champs with whoever. Maybe mixed match challenge. Him and Lana are going to get back together, sometime sooner rather than later. Anyways, this is just for now. They'll say, oh, the documents, weren't legal whenever they were signed, and the divorce isn't official, and so on and so forth. And they'll figure out a way to get out of it. And Rusev and Lana will be back together on WWE TV. However, other than Lana's looks, I don't think anybody wants to see Lana on WWE TV. It's just Rusev. So just move forward with that. Push Rusev if you're going to push him. If not, I know his deal's coming up. Just get rid of him like you did Luke Harper just recently, as Brody Lee will be hitting the independent scene within the next couple months after the clause is officially over with, around middle of March. I do believe it's normally a 60-90 day no contact, no contest clause that they give superstars once they actually release them. And we could see more cuts on the way. Maybe Bobby Lashley's going to be one of them. He was never good in WWE before. He was never good in TNA. Okay, yeah, he had some big wins in MMA, but he can't spear anybody worth a shit. All he does is, he's a Goldberg 2019. Jackhammer, vertical suplex, spear. Can't really talk that well. People just like him. We'll see what happens. But Lashley on Sunday at TLC. I know I'm going on and on about it, but it's pissing me off for some reason, because Rusev deserves to be up top, yet he isn't. At one point he was with Rusev Day, but then they did away with it, and then they had him job, and now they're putting them back into this. And as mentioned, I think the ultimate goal is to put Rusev over. It's just not right now. And Lashley's going to win because Rusev stood tall on Raw this past week. And it is a tables match on Sunday, so you have to put your winner or your opponent through a table to win. So probably a 5-minute match, if that. Lana will get involved. They'll have security out there, for her to protect her from Rusev. However, everybody's laughing backstage about this anyway. We're all getting played, and we know it. Yet, it's best for business. It's best for WWE TV. And, it's working out. But at the same time, as mentioned, anytime Rusev and Lana are in a storyline like this, relationship, sexual, whatever, it does not work out. Simple as that, so please stop it. Moving on. Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy will have a regular singles match. Now, there's other stipulations for all these other matches, except for this and the Bray Wyatt-Miz match that is not going to be for the WWE Universal, the new Blue Universal Championship that was revealed on Firefly Funhouse a few weeks back. Bray also, the Fiend himself, also has a Fiend Championship belt, but that, other than the one night it was on Firefly Funhouse, hasn't been seen since. So sort of like the Braun Strowman Greatest Royal Rumble Championship belt that he won, almost 2 years ago now? But they need to make this, unless they add another match and make that a chairs match. All these other matches have stipulations other than this and the Bray Miz match, as mentioned. They need to make Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy a chairs match. Or maybe a doors match, for that matter. Make it a doors match, because Buddy Murphy knocked on Aleister Black's door. And Aleister basically accepted the challenge, as he's been waiting for somebody to knock on his door and pick a fight with him. So make this a doors match, WWE, if you're listening. That'd be pretty sick. No all shark cage in the corner, door on a pole match. Don't do something stupid like that. It's not, 1994 before Attitude Era, when, you're up against WCW, and, now you're up against AEW, and you're trying to, figure out what to do, and you're pulling shit out of your ass. It's not working. Just stop with the nonsense. Just go out, professional wrestling, and, give it your all. Enough with the stupid gimmicks. Just move forward with it. I get the stipulations, especially for TLC, as WWE's about ready to go extreme on Sunday for tables, ladders, and chairs. 2 TLC matches, as mentioned. Couple other stipulations, but we'll see what happens. But Aleister Black, Tommy End, Buddy Murphy, he knocked on his door. He's picking a fight with him. Black's going to win because Aleister Black will hopefully eventually be getting pushed to the top on Monday Night Raw. So my pick to win on Sunday is Aleister Black. Bray Wyatt, Miz. Could Daniel Bryan interfere? Yes. Will he have hair or not? Don't know. Bray Wyatt will, along with the Miz, both win, as this will end in a no contest. Because either Bray Wyatt, John Morrison, in my opinion, along with Sheamus, who made a return on SmackDown recently, a few weeks back, one of those three, in that order as well, will get involved, and then I do believe we'll have a triple threat moving forward on the SmackDown side of things. Maybe Bryan helps out Miz, just for the time being. But then we get Miz and DB along with the Fiend at the Rumble for the Universal Championship. And then, a singles match again with Miz and Bryan, because in the meantime, too, they're still going to try to build up Roman Reigns, the big dog himself, for Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, at WrestleMania, because that's going to be the match we're getting, which is a sort of unfortunate circumstance, but it is what it is. And then Roman Reigns also in action on Sunday at TLC in a TLC match against King Corbin. And King Corbin is awesome. Baron Corbin is one of the best. However, unfortunately, because once again they're pushing Roman Reigns to the top, Reigns will win. Now, yeah, Ziggler could get involved. Bobby Roode could, but he's suspended now for 30 days. Maybe the Revival. Somebody's going to help out Corbin, but I think it's going to backfire. Reigns will still end up winning probably by pinfall in a TLC match. And then Reigns will get pushed to the top because they're pushing him to the top. He's going to face The Fiend at Mania more than likely. Hell, they'll probably have Reigns win the Rumble for God's sakes for no reason whatsoever. But Reigns will win even though Corbin showed on Sunday at TLC, long story short. And that's TLC. 7 matches. I know I over-exaggerated on a couple of those. But those are my thoughts. Those are my predictions for TLC on Sunday. And we'll see what happens. As mentioned, it'll be interesting to see what does in fact happen moving forward then after TLC into the new year, Royal Rumble, Road to WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania 36. And hopefully you tune in and watch my live reactions play-by-play on Sunday over on Periscope, Cool Hand Luke 96. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media if you haven't done so already. The links are, as always, in the description below. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and be sure to tune in on Sunday. Live reactions play-by-play of TLC and NFL Sunday Night Football. And share this on social media, hit the thumbs up button as well, and let me know in the comments below who you have winning at TLC on Sunday.